Okay, good evening everyone. Shalom Aleichem. Baruchim Abam. We're continuing Sefer Devorah. We're middle of the fourth Middah, L'Sha'iris Nachalaso. Brief recap. The premise of the Sefer is that since our body looks like HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if we just remain looking like Him, but we don't act like Him, we're falsifying our image. People are going to say beautiful image, but disgusting acts, because the Iker Tzura of HaKadosh Baruch Hu on high are His activities, are His actions. Therefore, we need to emulate the Middos of the Keser. The first Middah being Hashem's tolerance of Mikel Kamoicha, that the amazing supernatural tolerance of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that while we're sinning, Hashem is mashpia upon us the chayim and all the benefits and all the life force and the ability, and even so, we use it against Him, and Hashem does not retract the life-giving gift. Number two, that Hashem not only continues to give us the life, but He supports the monster that we created when we sin, until we do tshuva. Number three, that Hashem Himself cleanses the Avera, not al yidei shliach. Hashem, so to speak, dirties His hands, kiviyachal, to clean our Avera. Likewise, a person shouldn't say, why should I rectify what somebody else ruined? But a person should be willing to lower himself to rectify somebody else's misdeed. Okay? The fourth Middah is HaKadosh Baruch Hu has rachamim upon Klal Yisrael, because He says, what could I possibly do to them? I'm physically related to them. I'm she'er basar with them. I'm literally related to the Jewish people. They're like part of my flesh. Okay? And now we're going to develop that idea. The same way HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to the Jewish people, you're like my daughter, you're like my sister, you're like my mother, you're like my spouse, and therefore, how could I punish them? If I punish them, I'm punishing myself. And the idea being that when the Jewish people are betzara, lo yitzar, Hashem is betzara. And then we learned the Kabbalistic idea, lo yitzar is spelled with an aleph, that there's a certain realm of the heaven that no midas hadin enters there. It's called the Pela Ha'elyon. But even though midas hadin doesn't enter there, the tsar of a Jew enters there. Because the tsar of a Jew is Hashem's tsar. Hashem acutely feels our pain. We pointed out last week, Rabbi Meir is the one who says that when a person's b'tsar, the Shechina is b'tsar. Rabbi Meir is l'shitase, because Rabbi Meir holds that we're all the beloved children of Hashem. Okay, so now we're going to develop this idea even further. So if Hashem feels this way regarding us, then we need to feel this way about other Jews. Kach ha'adam im chaverai. Likewise, man with his friend. Kol Yisrael heim she'er basar elu im elu. Every Jew is like related of a flesh relation, one with the other. So in other words, even though we're not related, we're not third cousins, we're not fourth cousins, we're probably not even seventh cousins, I don't know, maybe we're seventh cousins, but we're closer than that. We're like she'er basar one with another. We're brothers, we're like spouse. Okay, now the term of Devorah takes this idea to the nth degree. It's like he takes this on steroids. It goes like this. Oh, why? All the souls are incorporated together. What does it mean all the neshamas are incorporated one together? So there's an idea that all the souls were originally hanging on Adam HaRishon. Some souls were on his eye, some on his nose, some on his toes, some on his chin. You know, the lower ones were on the toes, the greater ones were on the head. But they're all rooted in Adam HaRishon. So even though right now in this world, you know, I'm in my guf, you're in your guf, he's in his guf, but if I were to ask you right now, where is our neshama? Right now, where is our neshama? So we'd say, you know, where is the neshama currently? The answer is only the lowest point of the neshama is actually in the body currently. The majority of the neshama is all the way up in the various worlds, where all the neshamas are under the Kisei HaKavod, and they trickle down, through the Olam Atzilos, through Yetzirah, Bria, Asiya, until this world. In this world, they separate. But upstairs, they're twisted together. Upstairs, all the souls are twisted together as one, because the root of the neshama of Klal Yisrael is one neshama, nishmas Yisrael. So in this world, it looks like we're separate entities, but in our root, we're the same entity, which means that I, in my soul, have a chelek of your soul in it. And you have a chelek of my soul in you. And every Jew, his soul incorporates all the neshamais of all of Klal Yisrael. And the reason why I could be moitzi you in a mitzvah, you know how I could be moitzi you in a mitzvah? Because there's a chelek of you in me.
So why are there things that you can't be moitzi somebody?
If it's a mitzvah shebegufai, so then it's dependent on my body. So we'd have different bodies. I can't do things for your body.
What about Middah, Maidim? Maidim say we can't be moitzi somebody. That's why we have to do Maidim Darban, no?
Can't be moitzi mitzvah shebegufai. Mitzvah shebegufai, we're separated physically. Sometimes there are obligations that each independent entity has. So the idea of a Kol Yisrael, a Revim Zel, you know why I'm responsible for your actions? You know why I'm responsible for your actions? Because I'm responsible for your actions. Because there's a piece of me in you. I'm responsible for myself. So I have to make sure that what you do is okay. I'm responsible for your actions because in you is me. And I could be moitzi you in a mitzvah because there's a piece of me in you. Look at these words. Kol Yisrael heim she'er basar elum elu. There's a physical relationship, one Jew with another. Mibnei shaneshama is kluos yachad. All the souls are incorporated together. Yesh bazeh chelek zeh. There is in this one a piece of this one. Uvezeh, and in that one chelek zeh, a piece of that one. Ulekach, listen carefully. We know that einoi doime merubim ha'isem es hamitzvah lemerubim ma'isem mitzvah. We know there's no similarity. You can't compare. A lot of people do a mitzvah to a few people that do a mitzvah. When 10 people do a mitzvah, it's not 5 more people doing the mitzvah. In a way, it's like 75 more people doing the mitzvah. 5 people doing a mitzvah is 25 people doing a mitzvah. 10 people doing a mitzvah is 100 people doing a mitzvah.
Why? Because the vine neshamas?
Why? Because like this. If five of us are together, so in me is me and the 4 of you. In you is you and the 4 of you. In him is you and the and the other 4 and him. So it's 25 people. So it's like 25 people did the mitzvah. But if we would have had 10 people, then it's like 100 of us did the mitzvah. Because in me is me and the 9 and the other 9 guys.
So it's the amount of people squared.
Basically. So you say, why do we have to be there? I thought I just am all 600,000. It's like the idea is as follows, that when we're all together, then we complement each other. It brings our joining together to do a mitzvah brings out, when I join with you to do the mitzvah, it brings out the you in me and the me in you. You hear that? Get the words? Since the souls incorporate all of Klal Yisrael, when we come together to do a mitzvah, so then in me is now shining the 4 other people present. In you is shining you and the 4 other people present. Memela, why? This is all because of the encompassing of all the people present. That's why Chazal say, therefore the rabbis explain, the Gemara in Bracha says, try to be from the Asara Rishonim. You ever hear of this idea? By the way, you ever hear the idea of coming early to shul? There's such an idea to be there before. Let's say davening is called for a certain time, 9 o'clock. That means if you're here 9 o'clock and 1 second, you're late. You're late. So you don't care about it. You don't care. You don't care. I mean, you care a little bit, but you don't. Time is called for davening. You're there before it starts. Stam. That's otherwise. Anything you come late to means you'd rather not be there. Or so now that's the first step. The first step is when a davening is called, you're there on time. I don't care what anyone else does. I don't care when anybody else rolls in. It's irrelevant. You come late to your third cousin's bar mitzvah that you preferred not to have to go to. But now we're talking about a new idea. The next idea is to be from the Asar Rishonim. Why should you be from the Asar Rishonim? So Chazal say if you're from the Asar Rishonim, even if 100 come after, you get reward for everyone. Where did Chazal get even 100? Like, is that just a random number? Oh yeah, because since I made the minyan, and this minyan wouldn't have been a minyan without me, so no matter who comes, so why 100? Why not 75? Why not 43? Why not 1,007? No! The first 10 are 100! So even if 100 come, we've already done 100. It's dafka 100, says the Talmud Devorah. Therefore, our sages explain on the first 10 in the shul, afilu mea ba'im achrav, even if 100 come later, mikabel sachar keneged kulam. You receive reward keneged all of them. Mea mamish kamashmai. 100 is exact, as it implies. Because the 10, each one of the 10 includes the other 10. So, I'm 10, and Ruvain's 10, and Shimon is 10, and Levi is 10, and Yehuda is 10. So you'll ask, Saharehim eser pamim asara mea. 10 times 10 is 100. So you say, well then each one of them should only, why does each one get schar of 100? Each one should only get schar of 10. So he says, Harehim eser pa'amim asara mea, v'chol echad mehem kolol mimea. Each one alone encompasses 100. That's hard to understand. I understand each one is 10. We understand in total when 10 people are here, it's like 100 people are here. But why does each one get credit for 100? He then brings this idea, each one then encompasses 100. So in the footnote here, he tries to explain from the Ramak in the Sefer Aryakar that even if 100 come later, they get schar keneged everyone. Because at the very least, these 10 are a chariot, each one for 10, and 10 from 10 is 100. So each one gets schar for 100.
Each one gets schar for 100 or for 10?
Isn't it like the gematria, like the rule that whenever you're short one on gematria, you always count the word itself?
No.
So
No connection to that.
no,
That's a good rule. But it's not.
No, but the point is that
Yeah.
everyone gets, meaning everyone individually represents 10.
Yes.
Because they all bounce off each other. But then they each get schar for the whole group of 100. Meaning the whole group as a whole.
Saying each one gets 100?
Yeah, each one gets 100.
And how do we get that?
Because
As opposed to each one getting 10?
Because
Each one gets 100 if 10 are there, or
Meaning the first 10...
Each one of the people here incorporates each 10.
Right, so each one of the 10 are equal to 10.
V'chol echad meha eser yesh lo schar mea.
Now we just jump.
and then,
Well, that's what the Talmud Devorah says here, right? V'chol echad mehem kolol mimea.
no, so
If I'm 10, I guess the pshat is like this. You ready? I'm Ruvain. Ruvain includes Ruvain, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Zebulun, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. So I include 10. But each one of the 10 people here includes all 10. So I include 100. That's how it works. I have in me
10.
all 10. Me and the other 9.
Since each one of them, yeah, it keeps...
1 out of 1,000?
You can keep going.
Right.
No, we only do it twice. I include 10.
Yeah.
I include 10. I am 10. Because in me is shining each one as myself and each one of you. And each one of us is worth 10. That's what he says. That's what he says. Shmuel understands it fully. Okay? The point is that we like to look at ourselves as very independent, private people. I have my life and my world and I live in my corner and I am me and I have my likes and my tastes and I like this kind of pizza and this kind of soda. And no, you have, whether you like that guy or not, you have a chelik of him is in you. And actually part of you is in him. And it's the ramifications of this idea is the hashpah you could have on somebody, because you say, no, I can't connect with him. I don't connect with this guy. Do you connect with yourself? You connect with yourself, right? So maybe a bridge to help you connect with somebody else is to think about the fact that there's a chelik of you in this guy.
And that's literal.
Well, it's talking about on the neshama. Chelik of your neshama is in him. Yeah. Doesn't mean you share DNA. It's not a physical thing. It's a spiritual link.
But I'm saying in regards to the neshamos, that's literal.
Right. Yeah. So I'm responsible. Look at this. V'chein mitam zeh, for this very reason, Yisrael arevim zalazeh. The Jewish people are responsible for each other. Of course I'm responsible for you. How can I say, look, I'm going to serve Hashem and I'm going to be zahir in kashrus and in Shabbos, but you go, I don't care, you could do whatever you want, it doesn't affect me. It does affect you. There's a chelik of you in this guy. If this guy does the wrong thing, if he's speaking lashon hara, if he's looking at things that are wrong, it affects you because it affects the chelik of you and him, and that affects you. So we're responsible for each other. You know why I'm responsible for what you do? Of course I'm responsible, because there's a piece of you in me. So that means you're part of me. So if you're part of me, of course I'm responsible for you.
If it applies to mitzvahs, would it not apply to theirs as well?
Yes. Very good. And if a guy sins, he ruins himself. He ruins himself. He ruins himself. If a person sins, he ruins himself, and he ruins the chelek that his friend has in him. He's ruining his friend. He's ruining his friend. When, there's a kavanah, I spoke about a Shabbos Shuvah. A very high-level kavanah to have when you do a mitzvah is when you do a mitzvah, you should be mechavein to be mezakeh the Jewish people. In other words, when you put on tefillin, one of the things you should think is, I'm doing this mitzvah to bring zechus to Klal Yisrael. So you say, who do you think you are to bring merit to the Jewish people? How in the world are you bringing merit to the Jewish people? The answer is, there could be a soldier on the front lines who didn't go to yeshiva, doesn't know about the mitzvah of tefillin. When you put on tefillin, there's a chelek of that Jew in you. You're being mezakeh him. You're being mezakeh him in a mitzvah. When you daven, when you learn, a very high level kavanah to have before you do any mitzvah is you want to be mezakeh the Jewish people. You encapsulate all of Klal Yisrael. So, what's your first name again? Sorry. Moshe. Yeah. So when you do an aveira, you're ruining other Jews. Nimtza mitzad ha'chelehu. So for that chelek of your friend in you, chaver arev alav, your friend is responsible for you. We're literally flesh and blood. The story goes, the famous story. He brings it in the note here in Lametes, famous mashal. The Smag also brings it. Chavetz Chaim quotes the Smag. Bunch of guys in a boat. They were trying to get from Cyprus to Tel Aviv, and they took a rowboat, and they ran out of fuel, and then they found a fisherman, and they went into the fisherman's boat, and you have one guy, he's making a hole in the boat. It's a true story. Yeah, he made
I got someone in the comments. How'd you find out?
a guy made a hole in the boat. So Feivel says, Beryl, what are you doing? Make a hole in the boat. So Beryl said, I'm doing my thing. You mind? It's a free country. I'm making a hole. You don't make a hole. You try to find another fisherman to get more fuel. So you do your thing, and I do my thing. The answer is that's crazy because we're all on one boat. Likewise, a Jew can't say, don't think, I'm serving Hashem, but the fact that the guy down the block is a flagrant violator of halacha, it has no effect on me. We're all one soul, we're all one being, there's a piece of you in him. That's why by Yaakov Avinu it says, Shivim Nafesh, we're one soul. By Esav it says, Es kol nafshois beisai. By Esav they're independent beings. Okay, therefore, here are so this is a very beautiful idea. First of all, it comes out when you do a mitzvah, you literally elevate the entire Jewish people. Especially if you're in their presence. You see, it's interesting. It sounds like when the people are present, the chelek of them in you is more prevalent. But even if they're not present, you still encapsulate all of Klal Yisrael.
How does it work with the nefashos of Yerim? Or is that a little beyond?
I guess once they join the people, you encapsulate all of the nation. And that, one second. Well, so again, this explains the idea of being from the Asar Rishonim, why you get schar for 100, because each one of the 10 encapsulates all 10, and each one of the 10 is all 10. It explains why Kol Yisrael Arivim Zelazeh, why we're all responsible for each other. It explains how I can be moitzi you. It explains why if one person sins, it poigem chaver ulakach roy la'adam. Therefore, it is fitting for a person. Liyoisoi chafetz b'toivasoi shechaverai. You should want your friend's success. If you see your friend successful, you should be happy for him. If you go to your friend's wedding, you know what kavanah should you have? That I'm very happy for him. Why? Because it's my success. It's my happiness. There's a chelek of me and him. So it's good for me. There's a chelek of him and me. So it's good for me. Don't be stingy. Don't oh man, I wish, I'm jealous, or it makes me look bad, or I feel inadequate. No, you should generously and genuinely feel happy for him. And your friend's honor should be important to you like your own honor. And the honor of your friend should be dear to you like your own honor. Sharei huhu mamash. Because he is actually you. Umitam zeh nitztavinu v'ahavta l'reacha kamoicha. Love your neighbor like yourself. What? That's so, how in the world am I supposed to ever feel that way? Love my neighbor like myself? But he's someone else, and I'm jealous of him. No, why are you jealous of him? You should be happy for him, because there's a chelek of you and him. So it's good for you. And don't feel like he's a stranger. There's a chelek of him and you. You should want your friend's happiness and welfare and success. Never put him down. You put him down, you're putting yourself down. You shouldn't want it. Just like Hashem says, how could I punish Klal Yisrael? How could I hurt Klal Yisrael? But I'm one with them. They're my flesh. Just like HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it does not want roitza b'gnusenu. It doesn't want our disparagement. V'loi b'tzarenu. He doesn't want our pain. Mitam hakurva, because he's related to us. Afhu, so too, a Jew. Lo yirtza b'gnus chaveroi. It should bother you if someone is disparaged. It should bother you. V'loi b'tzar. You shouldn't want his pain. If Jews have anxiety now in Israel, worried, what's going to happen when the siren goes off? then you need to feel their pain like it's your own pain. It's like you're in the bomb shelter. You're there. You need to actually feel it. Because if it was your wife, you would feel it. If it was your father, you would feel it. And if it was you for sure would feel it. So it is you. You are there. You are in a difficult situation. You should not want your friend's disparagement, v'lei b'tzarai, and not his distress, v'lei b'kukui, and not his ruination. V'yeira loi mimenu, it should bother you, it should hurt you. Ke'ilu, in other words, when you hear that a Jew, chas v'shalom lo aleinu, is injured in Eretz Yisrael, you should feel, it should hurt you. Ke'ilu hu mamish haya sharoi ba'osei tzar. It should hurt you like it happened to you. And if somebody else has a happiness, you should feel it's your simcha. When you go to your friend's wedding, you should feel like it's your brother's wedding. You should feel like it's your wedding. Oy ba'isa taiva, or that goodness itself. Okay, that's the fourth Middah. Hashem says, Klal Yisrael, I'm related to them. They're my flesh. That's how you should feel about another Jew. Have a great evening. Shkach, everyone.